Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the OCVarsity football wrap-up show. This is Steve Fryer here with Dan Albano. It's the final week of the regular season, final night of the regular season, too. We had some fun games. I'm wearing a shirt that says Southern California Prep Legend, SoCal Prep Legends, because I covered a game tonight with a Prep legend, coaching the game, Bob Johnson, 35 years, 17 league championships that he got in that career. Clinched the outright championship tonight, Mission Viejo did, with a 49-21 win over San Clemente. One point this game was 21-14, then all of a sudden, pedal to the metal, they went Mission, they just went off. Our guy, Christian Laval, interception return that set up a touchdown. He also caught a touchdown pass. And at one point, he collided with a guy, went running off the field, sat on the bench. I thought, oh man, shoulder separation, nothing like that. But they kind of worked down. I thought, maybe it's just a stinger. And then, they leave him alone. So he hops up, runs over, and he runs up to Coach Johnson, and Bob goes, I can see him go, are you all right? It was just like hilarious. Chris, yeah, get me up. I got there. It was just great. So it was a great game, great finish. More than 200 of Johnson's former players were out there. Really cool scene. They put this number 11 up. You might have seen it earlier. Kind of retired them. Nobody's going to be able to wear that number 11. Brett Johnson and Brock Johnson, son and grandson, wore that number. I think Bob wore that at Redondo, maybe Fresno State as well, in El Camino College, perhaps. You think Rob wore that number, you were saying just before we went on?
I think so.
Oh, that'd be neat, man. I don't remember that. I covered Rob, but I can't remember that one.
So what do you think? Do you think Coach Johnson is, Fryer, do you think is he the greatest high school football coach in Orange County history?
Yeah, you go with Claire Van Herbeck, you got Mullen and Lester back in the, the 80s. Rawlinson's got to be in the discussion. Marujo's got to be in the discussion.
John Barnes
has got to be in the discussion. Dave White's in the discussion. That's a pretty big Mount Rushmore. But yeah, I think you have to say, especially when you think about Bob doing this. He was at El Toro, a lot of wins, left, came back. 10 years later, 9 years later, started winning again. Wow. That's pretty impressive. So.
Yeah, when you think Orange County football, you're gonna, Bob Johnson's gonna be one of the names because of what he did. Especially with all the quarterbacks.
And who I think of too is Dan Albano, who's won 11-0 in his picks over the week. So I think
what I think about is I congratulate every single high school football player in Orange County who made it through 10 weeks.
Yes.
And congratulations to all the fellas working so hard, summer all the way through the fall. You guys have a lot to be proud of.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw tonight. And
and if you were on a team that went 2-8 or 1-9 or something like that, those young people that kept going to practice all the time, even though they knew they weren't going to go to the playoffs, they still went out there and worked hard, representing the school. Those guys are big-time heroes. Yeah. Got a lot of heroes that played football tonight. Let's take a look at that Trinity League there. Boy, I think, we knew that Mater Dei was going to wax Servite's tails, and they did 51-7. Bosco 51-10 over Jay Serra. And then in a pretty good game, I think Olu was had a late lead, but Margarita, man, they have a way of coming back late in the game, and they won 38-31. All 6 Trinity League teams are going to go to the playoffs, Dan. Alameda and Loyola are the 2 of the 18 teams Division I that ain't going to go in. So all of them going to go. So you're probably going to see stuff like Orange Lutheran and Centennial Corona when the playoff pairings come out on Sunday, which of course we will have for you at OCRegister.com/OCVarsity. However you do that, you can find your way. We'll have all those there on Sunday when the playoff brackets come out on Sunday. So I think you're going to see all Trinity League teams in there. It's going to be some fun.
I think
maybe Jay Serra and Mission Viejo, maybe Servite at Chaminade, and it's going to be fun.
I think, and deservedly so. I think even though Olu, one comparative score. You just look, for example, you want to see how good is Olu. Look how well they played against Santa Margarita tonight, and then look at that Loyola score, Santa Margarita 35-0.
Yeah.
That gives you a little bit of idea of what the Trinity League's capable of.
It's the best league in the state, maybe the best league in the United States. So what the heck? Let's see what they do. Okay, now over to the South Coast League. Okay, Tesoro beat Trabuco Hills. Tesoro finishes 5-5. It looks to me like, just breaking it down, they get in at 5-5.
No,
right?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, cool.
Division II at large.
Sunset League, Newport Harbor wins. Nice way to finish it up, fellas. We talk about heroic kids that are still going at it. The Newport Harbor kids get a win.
But you know who got the biggest win in the Sunset League tonight? And I don't know if they even actually needed it, but they did get a win, and it was a big one. It was Fountain Valley won the coin flip. There was a 3-way tie for third place in the Sunset League between Fountain Valley, Huntington Beach, and Newport, all tied. And the third coin flip of the coin flip for third place went to the Barons, which I think they were a good shot to get the at-large anyway. And but they still won the coin flip, and I think those other two teams, HB and Huntington, are going to be out.
Is it in the CAF Constitution that Sunset League has to have a coin flip every year?
Yeah. Where is the coin?
Yeah, no kidding.
Rich Boyce had his coin ready tonight.
Yeah. I seen that double-sided heads on both sides coin. Okay, Seaview League. Capistrano Valley finishes 10-0. Congratulations to Cougars.
Three teams are 10-0. Cougars, Mater Dei, Mission Viejo.
Don't forget anybody. We did one time.
I know we did.
We heard about it.
That's right.
All right, Empire League. This was a fun league all year, and it certainly was tonight. And this is where Dan got me in our little predictions battle. Tustin over Cypress, 39-20. I imagine Casey Carr went off in that game. So we got in that we have Pacifica, Valencia, Tustin, Cypress. I think all four of those guys are going to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, and I was at the Pacifica game tonight.
Yeah.
14-0 over Valencia. So Mariners earn a share of the league title with Valencia. For Pacifica, third-year coach Vinny Lopez, first league title, Empire League title in 10 years. I was really impressed with Ben Jefferson. The kid can flat out run.
Yeah.
I like the way he throws on the run. Threw TD, ran for a TD, but it was the defense tonight, led by Isaac Togia. If I got it right, Isaac, he was helping with my pronunciation. But they really, slammed the door. They had forced some turnovers. Valencia didn't run the ball really well, and that's what they do. Isaac was in on a ton of tackles. The front seven did a great job for Pacifica. So, got to watch out for the Mariners in Division 10. I mean, that's a lot of firepower. You got a highly recruited linebacker like Isaac, and then you got Ben Jefferson, and two Division 1 guys, and a lot of guys playing around them. They're going to be a force, I think, in Division 10.
Pacific Coast League, Corona del Mar wins, goes 5-0 in the league again. They beat Woodbridge, which was 4-0 coming in. CDM wins this game 41-21. Bye-bye CDM from the Pacific Coast League. They're going to be in the Sunset League next year. Yeah. And I think some of those Pacific Coast League guys happy to show them the door.
Absolutely.
Because they've been great in that league. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, you're good. So good for the Sea Kings winning that thing. Golden West League, Santa Ana, Sammy Saint, 2 years in a row. Golden West League champions, and what was a pretty gosh darn competitive league.
It was.
With Westminster and Orange all and Segerstrom all battling out.
Saints, one of the hottest teams in Orange County, going into the playoffs.
Yeah, 9-1.
9 in a row.
Yeah.
Just like Catella's won 9 in a row, and those 10-0 teams we mentioned. But Santa Ana Saints, looking good. They came up just short last year, losing in the CIF finals. Got to watch out for them this year.
Freeway League, La Habra does it again. They didn't win the league title last year, first time in quite a while. Yeah. They've won, won it 10 of the last 11 years, whatever that was. Buena Park won it last year. They shut out Fullerton 17-0. I think Fullerton's got like 3. La Habra's got like 3 shutouts or something like that. Not a big offensive night for the Highlanders. Probably says something about how good Fullerton is. You and I like Fullerton. I know.
Pretty respectable.
Yeah.
I think they played a much better. This last 2/3 of this season, they had a tough loss early in the year to Elmo, and then they got on a roll and played really well. So they're. Watch out for them, and I think they're in Division 7.
Yeah. All right. Now, in the Crestview League, we had a couple of teams that were battling it out for the league championship. Villa Park and Yorba Linda. Yorba Linda was ahead in this game, kind of late in the game. I kept looking at our Twitter feed saying upset alert. Could be happening. Yorba Linda's a pretty remarkable team. They had a lot of injuries, especially the quarterback and so on. And Villa Park. The class of the league, I don't think they've won a league. They've lost a league or a Century League or Crestview League game in a few years.
They definitely haven't. They're undefeated since they've been in the Crestview. And they just find a way. I mean, their game against El Medina was close earlier this year too, and they found a way to win that. So surprisingly close, but. We'll see how the Spartans do in the playoffs, and Yorba Linda.
A team that dominates the league seems like every gosh darn year is St. Margaret's in the Academy League. They cruised to a 50-6 win over Orange Vista of Paris, and so St. Margaret's they're in our county top 25. I haven't voted for them that much. A lot of people have. I'd like to see them play a Santa Ana or a Segerstrom or something like that. Just to see how they would fare against those sorts of teams. It's kind of hard for me to get a gauge on them. But when they get in the playoffs, they're going to be playing some public school teams, some bigger school teams. So
they're in Division 7.
We'll see how that works out. So I think we've kind of covered a lot of stuff here, Dan. I mean, we got the playoffs coming up here. I'm pretty excited. Sunday's when the brackets come out. Is there any player or anything like that? You got an offensive player of the week or anything like that already in mind?
Well, JT was outstanding today for Mater Dei, as usual, throwing for 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I guess Amon-Ra had 2 spectacular touchdowns. He took a little pitch pass, shovel pass like 75 yards.
Yeah.
He had a diving 45-yard touchdown. That was interesting. North Hills was kind of interesting. Brea won this big game against, it was for playoff implications. Brea won a big game against Esperanza.
Yeah.
Dominated them. So Esperanza was trying to make the playoffs if they won that game. So now they had a tie between for second place, 3-way tie in the 4-team league. So it was Esperanza and El Dorado and Brea all tied. And how they broke the tie in that one? I think you know.
How they do it?
They went cross conference.
You do the cross conference. I remember
El Dorado
that,
had 2 cross conference wins.
Yeah,
so El Dorado, Zach Lamonda, improved team. They're going to be in the playoffs.
They're Division 12. Watch out for El Dorado.
Yeah, as you were
Division
saying.
12, man. I'm telling you, they were really darn good. All right, so that's what we looked at today. It was a pretty fun final week of the regular season. Playoff start. We're going to be hanging out at the CIF office. I will on Sunday, and it starts early in the morning, 8 o'clock. We'll post the at-large teams. There's going to be a lot of county teams that are going to get at-large berths, and then the brackets come out starting a couple hours at 10 o'clock.
Follow all our Twitter feeds, OCVarsity, Steve Fryer, OCVarsity guy. We'll have all kinds of updates throughout the day, and it's going to be. I think Orange County is going to do great in the CIF playoffs.
Yeah.
I think from Division 1 could be Mater Dei's year. It could be Santa Ana's year. I mean, it could be a lot of teams' year.
Capistrano Valley.
Yeah, 2017.
Team,
I think we'll have some teams playing on out regional and trying to get to state.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for hanging out with us. That's our wrap up for the OCVarsity football scene tonight, Friday, the final night of the regular season, and we'll be ready to go to work on Sunday when the playoffs come out. Thanks again for hanging out with us.